Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Fold Line. I am back this week to talk new sewing pattern releases for July. Another absolutely enormous month of releases, to the point I can hardly talk about them all. So before I get started, this sort of leads on to what I want to talk to you about just quickly before I get going. We've had quite a few messages and emails, and when we did the customer survey with you guys, lots of people said that they wanted more of the new sewing pattern releases type stuff, and we had a chat about it as a team, and Mel pointed out, which was a very good point, which I'd never thought about, is when we do these, by the time we've done them, a whole month has passed. There have been so many releases that quite often this video is a bit out of date in the fact there have been so many releases that you've probably seen them weeks ago. So what we're going to do, which is a little bit wild card, but I think you guys will like it, I hope you will, is that we're going to change things up a bit. So on Sunday, the Sew Reporter is going to change. So we're going to every Sunday have new sewing pattern releases. So there'll be a little video from me every Sunday with an update of new patterns for that week, and there'll be a blog post to go with it, with all the stuff, like with all the patterns that have been released that week, so that you guys can stay up to date a bit more and it's not like one enormous deluge each month. For those of you that love the Sew Reporter and think, oh, I'm going to miss all of that sort of stuff, don't worry. So what we're going to do now is the Sew Down, which we do every month, which is a roundup of stuff that we sort of read and listened to. We're going to carry on doing that, but we're going to make it more meaty each month. So we'll pop all the things that kind of go in the Sew Reporter into the Sew Down. So you get one really meaty thing of all the stuff that you should be, that you might want to listen to and watch and all of that sort of thing, and stuff that people have made. And then each week I'm going to do sewing pattern releases on a Sunday. This is not going to start for a couple of weeks, I will say, because people are on holiday and all of that jazz. So yes, I hope you're down with that. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I feel like it's a good thing to do. I think it feels a bit more us, and I get frustrated that I can't talk about more sewing patterns because there isn't enough time, and I don't want to do an enormously long video where you all fall asleep halfway through. So I feel like this is a good kind of compromise, and I think it'll work. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. I'm going to get started on patterns. So I've got some really great patterns to talk to you about this month. There will also be the blog post with everything, so you can go and have a look there. Right, going to get started. So the first pattern I've got to talk to you about is the Sew House 7 Sauve dress. I think I've probably pronounced that incorrectly. It looks like it's a French word, and you know how bad my franglais is. So in terms of sizes, this comes in a UK 6 to 38. I think this pattern is really clever. It's really simple, so it's great for beginners. I think it's a classic shape, and it means that you'll wear it each summer. So actually really simple dress. The thing that is clever about this is the cut of it. So for me, I personally am a pear shape. This sort of dress, generally, I would probably steer clear of because I feel like it is less flattering. But I think the cut of this is really great. So I would actually go for it. So anyway, let's talk about the kind of line drawings. I'll show you that. So you can see that it comes in 2 lengths. Again, simple shape. You can have, there are 2 kind of core differences. You can either have it so that it doesn't have any shaping and it's just straight down, or you can have it with elasticated waist. There's an option to add a frill. There's also splits in the side if you'd like to add them. So there's quite a lot of, although they're quite subtle, there's quite a few things that you can do with it. I just think the cut of the neckline of this is really beautiful. It comes down quite, it's low but not too low. The back is also the same. It comes down low but not too low, so that you can definitely wear a bra with it. It's got pockets. I love Sew House 7. Well, most designers do this now, but Sew House 7 always show it on lots of different models, and I think this dress will look great whatever size you are. I think it's a really fantastic cut. You can just tell they spent quite a lot of time getting the fit really good on it, and I think it's fab. I think loads of people will love it. I actually personally prefer the one without the elasticated waist. And I think, yeah, the thing I like about this is that you can make this in a cotton, and it's like a really lovely sundress, but you could make this in something really drapey and gorgeous and wear it to a wedding as well. So I think it's got quite a lot of options. You could also, I mean, they haven't done it, but I reckon you could cut that off and make it into a top as well if you wanted to. So there's quite a lot of things that you could do with it. I love it. So the next pattern I've got to talk to you about is the Melliot Sunny Visor and Hat PDF. I love this. I love an accessory. Really nice, simple make. Doesn't take too long. Uses up leftover fabric. And this one looks really fun. So there's two different things. So there's a sun hat, but the peak, it's kind of like a cap if you look at it just as the line drawing, but it's got this kind of extended peak, so it's quite glamorous. And there's also a visor version, so it doesn't have any anything covering the crown of your head. It's a, what is it, 6-piece crown for the hat. They're really fun to make if you haven't done a cut and sew hat before. They're really satisfying. You learn completely different skills doing it, and you sew in a different way. But I just think it's really beautiful. I think it's something that you'd wear lots, especially if you're going on holiday or you're just out in the garden. This is quite a nice pattern to have. I also like that with this peak, that if you were out somewhere and your back was burning, you could actually turn it around and have it so it's like covering you at the back of your neck. I just think it's really fab. And as an ex-milliner, I always like a cut and sew hat. So I thought I'd pop this one in, and the visor is really fun as well. So there's quite a lot of things that you could do with it. Next up, we've got Helen's Closet moss jacket. This is part of a 3-piece collection that she released, so make sure you go and have a look at those. I'll pop links to the other 2 patterns below this video, and it'll also be in the blog post. I picked this one because this was probably my favourite of the 3. It comes in sizes 6 to 34. I think this pattern is really lovely and simple. I think it's something that you use loads. It's a great layering piece. So it can either be worn, I think, as a jacket, or it can definitely be worn as a cardigan. There are 2 variations. You can either make it longer or shorter. The short version I think is really nice. You could wear this with lots of different things. You could wear this with a dress. You could wear this with high-waisted jeans. I think it would look great with lots of things. So it's got big deep pockets. It's got this lovely kind of feature around the neckline. In terms of the construction, if I show you the line drawing, it's really nice and simple, but it's got some nice extra details. You can see on the back there's that a kind of yoke panel across the back, slightly dropped sleeve on it, and patch pockets, which again, if you didn't want those, you could leave those off. It would be really simple to do. But yeah, this is a really nice simple make. I think you're not going to have loads of fit issues. I think you could whip this up in a kind of an afternoon or over a couple of sewing sessions. I think, yeah, it would be like a fun sew to do. So yeah, go and check out the other ones as well. Right, so next pattern I've got is the Merchant & Mills Etta dress. There was a lot of hype about this coming, and I can see why everyone was really excited about it. I think it's beautiful. So it comes in sizes 6 to 30. If I show you the line drawing, it's really nice and simple. It's really relaxed fit. It's a wrap dress with a kind of gathered skirt. It's quite loose fitting, so I think it's quite flattering. And you can make it with or without sleeves. I think this would suit a lot of people. It's got a great size range, and as usual, Merchant & Mills have put it in some of their beautiful fabrics, which makes you want to buy all the fabrics as well. It's just, yeah, it's a really lovely pattern, and I think one that lots of people could get on board with. So I thought I should put it in because everyone's excited about it. Next up, I've got a really fun pattern. It's from Vanessa Hansen, and it's called the Carrie Skirt. It comes in sizes 6 to 34. This skirt, was inspired by Carrie Bradshaw in The New, hence the name. in the new Sex and the City, and Just Like That, you know what I mean. She wore this skirt, and actually I noticed it and thought, oh, that's a really interesting cut. And so she has created a pattern from it. So if I show you the line drawing, you can see it's got these kind of, it almost looks like a mixture of a corset and a skirt. So it's got this panelled kind of corseted top with this really interesting seam line, that sort of V shape with it, then with a gathered skirt. I think this is really flattering on loads of different shapes. I think it's something that you'd get quite a lot of wear out of. It's quite a statement. The back of the skirt is, the gathering kind of continues around the back. I just think it's a really interesting shape. I haven't ever seen anything like this in a sewing pattern. In fact, her skirt I haven't seen anything like. I think it's really fun. I think it looks like there are two variations of it, and I think I probably prefer the sort of higher waisted version, but it's, yeah, it looks like a really interesting pattern if you're looking for a skirt with a bit something different. Definitely if you're like looking for something to wear kind of to an event, I think this could be a really nice option. So next up we have got the Atelier Dupe Lin Caftan dress and blouse. Atelier Dupe have just released a collection of patterns, so there are about 6 or 7 of these with patterns from them. Do go and have a look because they are really lovely. This was my personal favourite from them, so I thought I'd pop it in. I picked this because I think it is a really classic shape. It's a simple make. I think you'll wear it summer after summer, and the top version of it is really nice as well. So if I show you the line drawing, you can see it's actually a really simple shape, a kind of based on a caftan, not quite as extreme in its proportions as a caftan, but it's got this nice little kind of V-neck bibbed front, their sleeves, and then there's a drawstring waist. I think the pictures of these are really fab, and I think, again, with something, depending on what your style is, I really like this kind of big bold print on a really simple shape. I think it really works well. You get to see the fabric, the print doesn't get all kind of cut up, and yeah, it looks fab, but also this would look amazing in a kind of simple kind of colour block as well. Something like a linen or something with some drape in it, I think would make this really great. It comes in sizes 8 to 26. I can't remember if I just said that. Sorry, my brain is a bit all over the place this morning. So yeah, I love this. I think a good one for summer, and also great if you are going on holiday. A nice thing to wear down to the beach. Just shove it over your swimming costume and it's perfect. So last but not least, we've got a jumpsuit from Sew and Tell Patterns. It's called the Willow Jumpsuit. It comes in sizes 4 to 32. It also comes, it's drafted with a C to D cup for this, so that's something to note if you have got a smaller bust. I put this in because I thought it was a really interesting cut. So it's a jumpsuit, base, like kind of shirt top. It's just, the thing that is really interesting about it is it's got this tie detail at the front. So it's got, I'd love to see actually how the pattern lays out, because it's quite interesting how the construction. You can see it's got this sort of tie at the front. It's got this panel along the back seam, waist seam, which I really like. The trousers, you can make it into a blouse. You can make it into a jumpsuit, a like short jumpsuit as well. But the tie detail at the front, I think, is really flattering, especially if you have a little bit more of a tummy. I think this is a really flattering, would be a really flattering cut. It kind of creates a bit of an optical illusion, and I think it's a clever cut. So go and have a check out of that as well if you're looking for a nice jumpsuit to wear. And I think you can wear it to loads of things. You can wear it to events, but you could also wear it on the beach. Anyway, that is it from me. I hope that is good, and let me know your thoughts on the changes for the videos. I hope that will work for you guys. Have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back soon. Bye.